This story is completely fictional and is presented only for entertainment and inspiration purposes. Trusted everyone. He continued to love, but not at the cost of his self-respect. He continued to help, but now he understood the difference between helping someone and being used by someone. The biggest message of this story is, no matter how much you maintain a relationship, not everyone is truly yours. Some people will stay with you only as long as they benefit from you. The moment their selfishness ends, their behavior changes. But you do not need to change. Stay good, stay true, stay kind. Just combine kindness with wisdom, because the most dangerous thing in the world is not the presence of bad people. The most dangerous thing is a good person blindly trusting the wrong people. So if someone has left you today, do not break. If someone has betrayed your trust, do not blame yourself. If someone did not value your love, do not reduce the value of your love. Maybe that relationship was not your destination, but your lesson. And maybe God removed that person from your life so that you could walk toward peace. Remember, someone leaving you is not always your loss. Sometimes it is the beginning of a new life. So write this in your heart today. I will do good for everyone, but I will not consider everyone my own. I will love, but I will not lose my self-respect. I will forgive, but I will not keep putting myself in the same pain again and again. And perhaps this is the greatest message of that mysterious story. The real mystery is not where the pigs went or what happened to the spirits, but when a human will free themselves from negativity, fear, and toxic relationships. The day you remove fear from within, learn to distance yourself from the wrong people, and prioritize your peace. That day, you will realize that true liberation is not outside, but within. If this story touched your heart, write in the comments, I will not lose my peace. If you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. But the real mystery was not about the pigs. The real mystery was about what happened inside the human heart after darkness left. The man who had once been feared by everyone was no longer the same. The people who had known him as a dangerous and broken man now saw him sitting quietly, looking toward the hills. His eyes were no longer filled with rage. His body was no longer controlled by fear and darkness. For the first time in many years, he looked like a human being who had been given another chance at life. But freedom brought another kind of battle. He had spent so many years living in darkness that he did not know how to live in peace. He wondered, who am I now? He had lost his old identity, but he had not yet discovered his new one. And this is something many people experience in life. Sometimes we become so used to pain that when peace finally comes, we become afraid of it. We become so used to people hurting us that when someone treats us kindly, we suspect their intentions. We become so used to rejection that when someone accepts us, we wonder how long it will last. We become so used to being used by others that we start believing that every relationship is based on selfishness. The man sat alone and remembered everything that had happened. He remembered the years of isolation. He remembered the voices. He remembered the fear in people's eyes. He remembered how people had avoided him. And then he remembered the moment when everything changed. He realized something powerful. The darkness had taken many years from him, but it did not have the authority to take the rest of his life. That thought changed him. He stood up. For the first time, he decided that his past would no longer be the master of his future. He walked toward the village. As he entered the village, people became frightened. Some closed their doors. Some whispered. Some ran away. One man shouted, "Stay away from us!" The healed man stopped. For a moment, his old pain returned. He thought, maybe they will never accept me. But then he remembered the mercy that had been shown to him. He took a deep breath and continued walking. He did not demand that people trust him. He did not demand that they forget his past. He simply decided to live differently. Days passed, then weeks, then months. Slowly, people began to notice something. The man who had once been feared was now helping others. He repaired broken fences. He carried water for elderly people. He helped farmers. He sat beside lonely people. He never asked for praise. He never said, "Look at how good I am now." He simply lived. And slowly, people began to understand that sometimes the greatest evidence of transformation is not what a person says. It is how they live when nobody is watching. One evening, an old man from the village approached him. The old man said, "Why do you help people who once rejected you?" The man smiled. He replied, "Because I know what it feels like to be rejected." The old man asked, "But don't you remember what they did to you?" He answered, "I remember everything. Forgiveness does not mean I have forgotten. It means I refuse to let yesterday control tomorrow." The old man became silent. Then he asked, "What did you learn from everything that happened to you?" The man looked toward the sunset. He said, "I learned that not everyone who walks beside you is your friend. Not everyone who smiles at you wishes you well. Not everyone who leaves you is your enemy. And sometimes, the person you think has destroyed your life is actually teaching you how to rebuild it." The old man nodded. Then the man continued, "I also learned something else. We cannot spend our whole lives trying to prove our worth to people who have already decided not to value us." Those words became the beginning of another lesson. There was a young man in the village named Eli. Eli was kind-hearted, but he had one weakness. He trusted everyone. Whenever someone asked for help, he helped. Whenever someone needed money, he gave. Whenever someone betrayed him, he forgave. Whenever someone lied to him, he made excuses for them. He believed that being a good person meant allowing everyone unlimited access to his life. But slowly, Eli became exhausted. One day, he went to the healed man and said, "I don't understand something. I try to be good to everyone, but people keep hurting me. Should I stop being kind?" The man looked at him and said, "No, never stop being kind." Eli asked, "Then what should I do?" The man replied, "Learn the difference between kindness and weakness." Eli listened carefully. The man continued, "Kindness is helping someone because you choose to. Weakness is helping someone because you are afraid they will leave you. Kindness is forgiving someone. Weakness is allowing the same person to hurt you repeatedly. Kindness is giving. Weakness is destroying yourself to make someone else comfortable. Kindness comes from strength. Desperation comes from fear." Eli lowered his head. He realized that many times he had not helped people because he loved them. He had helped them because he was afraid of losing them. That realization hurt, but it also set him free. The healed man said, "Remember this, Eli. You can love people without becoming their servant. You can forgive people without inviting them back into every part of your life. You can wish someone well and still walk away." Eli asked, "But what if they call me selfish?" The man smiled. "Let them." Eli looked surprised. The man said, "People who benefited from your lack of boundaries may call you selfish when you finally learn to protect your peace." Those words stayed with Eli. Years later, he would remember them whenever someone tried to manipulate him with guilt. Meanwhile, the village itself was changing. People began talking about the mysterious event involving the pigs. Some said the pigs were cursed. Others said the spirits disappeared. Some said it was a punishment. Others argued about where the evil spirits had gone. But the healed man did not spend his life arguing about mysteries he could not explain. He had learned something more important. He had seen darkness leave a human life, and that was enough. He understood that sometimes people become obsessed with questions they cannot answer while ignoring the questions they can. Where did the spirits go? What happened after the pigs died? Why did it happen? These questions may remain mysterious, but there was another question that every human being could answer. What will I do with the life I have been given? That question mattered more, because a person can spend years trying to understand the darkness and forget to walk toward the light. A person can spend years talking about betrayal and forget to build trust again. A person can spend years blaming the past and forget that today is still in their hands. The healed man chose differently. He stopped asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and started asking, "What can I become after this?" That single change transformed his life. And this is where the story becomes personal for all of us. Maybe you have been betrayed by someone you trusted. Maybe you supported someone when they had nothing, and when they became successful, they forgot you. Maybe you stood beside someone during their darkest days, but when your own darkness came, they disappeared. Maybe you kept a relationship alive for years, while the other person stopped caring long ago. Maybe you have apologized again and again for things that were never your fault. Maybe you have spent your life trying to keep people happy because you were afraid of being alone. If that is your story, remember this. Being alone is sometimes painful, but being surrounded by people who destroy your peace can be even more